They are some of the least known and least heralded federal law enforcement officials, postal inspectors who carry badges and guns and investigate a lot of important cases. And for some of them, it became important in the last few weeks to go after their own boss, to turn whistleblower on the chief postal inspector. Headquartered in Washington, D.C., the U.S. Postal Inspection Service investigates scams and thefts through the mail. Its agents helped bring down televangelist Jim Baker, pursued the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, and were deeply involved in the anthrax investigation.
It's our mission really to protect the people involved in the Postal Service, the product, and the American public.
With 1,700 inspectors and a yearly budget of $464 million, the chief postal inspector, Alexander Lazaroff, should be one of Washington's top law enforcement figures. But more times than not, Lazaroff is out of the office, far from Washington, running his agency by remote control.
I'm here 30% of the time, yes.
It's a headquarters job, but you're not at headquarters.
It depends on how you look at it, whether it's a headquarters job or not.
Lazaroff has spent 5 times more money than any of his predecessors traveling the world, and internal complaints have made their way to a powerful U.S. senator who has now demanded an inspector general investigation.
Quite frankly, how can he do his job as a postal inspector and the administrator is when he's never in the office?
What's more, according to some of Lazaroff's own people, he often arranges his travel to be near a casino where he can gamble, as our undercover cameras saw last month in Arizona. All this at the very time Lazaroff ordered his own agency to cut its budget by $2 million.
You don't think you travel too much?
No, I think I travel a reasonable amount.
His trip last month to Arizona was part of a conference he convened at the Wigwam Resort outside Phoenix. 80 postal inspectors from around the country were flown in at a cost of almost $100,000. There are 3 casinos nearby.
Some of the inspectors who were there say that you like to go there because you like to go gambling at night.
Yeah, and I've heard that allegation before. People will throw an allegation like that out without any substantiation, and it's not true.
But some of Lazaroff's own inspectors told us we would almost certainly find him at night at a nearby casino. And we did, at Casino Arizona in Scottsdale. Lazaroff spent 2 hours almost nonstop playing video poker machines, accompanied by 2 women and a man, members of his staff, he said. At the end of the evening, Lazaroff and the others all climbed into a silver stretch limousine provided by the casino and headed back to their resort hotel. It was something that just 6 days later, Lazaroff could not recall.
Do I go to a casino once in a while? Yes, I do.
Did you on this trip?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I never go to a casino. If I've ever gone, it's on my own time, and it's very infrequent.
Then we showed Lazaroff the pictures of him at the casino from 6 days earlier.
Okay.
Does that refresh your memory? Do you remember going there now?
Yeah, I remember going there.
How did you come to choose that these 2 women would go with you to the casino?
They work with us, and we said, you know, we might go to the casino.
Do you usually go to them when you go there?
No, I go once in a while to casinos like millions of Americans. I don't have a gambling problem. I don't have any debt as a result of gambling. I'm not a high roller.
You have all these people from around the country.
Right.
You've flown them to Phoenix.
Right.
You're the big man. And you choose, instead of spending time with them at the hotel, at the Wigwam, to go out with these 2 women and this other fellow to the casino. Is that really being a good job as the top man?
It depends, again, on what how you interpret that.
Had you been to this casino before?
I'm not sure even what casino it was, to tell you the truth.
Had you been there before?
I don't know, because it was.
You can't remember that?
No, there's like a number of casinos in most areas, and if you go for a couple of hours, you normally just go and you don't pay. I don't pay a lot of attention.
Lazaroff left Phoenix the next morning for a flight back to his home, not in Washington, but in New Jersey. Lazaroff says the complaints about his travels and his gambling come from disgruntled postal inspectors, unhappy with management changes he is making at the Postal Service. Lazaroff insisted to us he can do much more on the road than he can do back at his desk at headquarters. And with so much travel, upgrading to first class becomes much easier. But that is not the end of the story. Shortly after our interview, the Chief Inspector Lazaroff abruptly submitted his resignation, saying it was time for a new chapter in his life. He made no mention of our story to his employees or the fact that the Inspector General's investigation has been broadened to look at other allegations of how he ran his office. The Postal Service is now planning a big retirement party for him next week at Postal Service headquarters, even as he remains under active investigation by the Inspector General, Martin.
Brian, what does the Postmaster General himself say about all of this? Because these abuses clearly occurred on his watch.
Well, that's right. Well, Postmaster General John Potter did not respond to our request for a comment. But in a note to employees, he praised Lazaroff for operational excellence and said nothing to them about the Inspector General's investigation. Senator Grassley says that calls into serious question the judgment of the Postmaster General and his ability to clean up his own house, Martin.
Brian Ross, thank you.